End of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, Kyocera published their first quarter results. Folks, these results are fantastic. You know what I like about Kyocera? When they talk about hitting the ball out of the park, you can actually see the video of the ball flying out of the park. In other words, it's not a fantasy home run. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump on the Sharp Interactive board. I put together a PowerPoint slide presentation. I want to talk about Kyocera. I want to share my thoughts on how this knock it out of the park home run is impacting our industry and some of the aspirations that I see for Kyocera. So folks, here we go. You can go to the website, financial presentations out there. I went ahead and took the PowerPoint slides. I put my notes on them like I always do. The numbers in blue are those yens translated to dollars. So let's just jump right in here. I wanted to do my own cover slide. I put the word congratulations up there and I used the ink. I'm excited about this Kyocera ink technology and what they're doing in industrial ink and what they've done with the Task Alpha 15000C and how I believe ink could really revolutionize our industry delivered through Kyocera's products. I'm going to talk about more of that at the end. But ladies and gentlemen, what I want to do is the same thing I did with Konica. I want to go back to the previous 2 years before this quarter that just ended started. And for fiscal year 2020 and 2021, Kyocera's total revenue was $26.7 billion. Their total operating profit for those 2 years was $1.7 billion. $70.8 million a month. Do you remember Friday when I shared Konica Minolta's first quarter results? And they were sitting at $286 million loss. So they had a loss of operating profit of $286 million for the same time period, which equated to $12 million a month loss. Making that, here's simple math, folks. Kyocera, over the 2 years prior to this quarter even starting, was over $80 million a month more profitable than Konica Minolta. I'm bringing this up for a reason, and that reason is simple. A few months ago, I shared with all of my friends that if you were a Konica Minolta mainline dealer and Kyocera was your tier 2, maybe you should flip the script. Maybe you should call up Kyocera and say, hey, I want to deliver your products as my main line, and I'm going to use Konica Minolta for some production machines. Folks, that reality is so probable today. And I believe that dealers that are Kyocera dealers as a second tier and Konica Minolta as the first choice have an opportunity to get a hold of Oscar and his team and really shake things up. Because quite honestly, here's what I think. All the OEMs are having struggles getting equipment. We get it. But who do you think's in better position when the chip thing settles down? Someone that's starved for cash? Or someone that's got all kinds of money in the bank? I think it's the folks that got all kinds of money are probably going to be able to provide the better opportunities. The folks starved for cash might find themselves in a pickle, if you know what I mean. So let's continue on, folks. So where are they at for their first quarter? Kyocera top line revenue is $3.7 billion in top line revenue. Operating profit of $317 million. Ladies and gentlemen, our friends over there at Konica Minolta, yes, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I think it's important. Our industry for a long, long time saw Konica Minolta as this, mainline player. And at the end of the day, when you peel the onion skin back a little bit, you got to have money to really play today's game. With a $317 million operating profit for our friends over here at Kyocera, that means they're $398 million more profitable this first quarter than Konica Minolta was. It's simple math, folks. Konica Minolta showed an operating profit of negative $84 million. Added to Kyocera's $317 million positive profit is $398 million. It's simple math, but the math equates to Kyocera and having a whole lot of money in the bank. Let's go on. Where are they at with our business? Folks, Document Solutions Group, first quarter, $770.5 million in revenue, $51.8 million operating profit. $770.5 million in revenue, $51.8 million in operating profit for that group that has those MFPs in it. Again, I got to bring it up. Where was Konica's operating profit with their business group where the MFPs live? Well, it was negative $54 million. Add that to the $51.8 million positive operating profit at Kyocera, means that Kyocera's operating profit in their print business was over $105 million stronger than our friends over at Konica Minolta. Even if you add in the 6.7 or 8 million profit that Konica Minolta had in the professional print business, they're still about $100 million better over here at Kyocera. Where are you going to be when all the chips and things start settling down? Are you going to be with an OEM that's got cash in the bank and money? Or are you going to be with an OEM that's starved for cash? Just something to think about. Folks, this is an interesting slide, and this is where Kyocera talks about their projections. And what I like about Kyocera's projections is they hit them. Go back through their financials. They hit their projections. They don't just throw out numbers and hope they hit them. They focus on hitting them. And I got to give a big old congratulations to all the leadership at Kyocera and all the team members. Because I know over these last few years it's been tough. It's been tough on everybody. But you consistently deliver operating profit. And that's something to be damn proud of in this crazy world we live in today. But folks, you know, their projections for the year are 2 trillion yen, which is 15.2 billion. 15.2 billion US dollars with a 1.3 billion operating profit. A 1.3 billion operating profit. And I truly believe they're going to get there without a problem at all. Let's look at the Document Solutions Group over here. You know, they want to do 3.05 billion in revenue. 3.05 billion in revenue. They'll hit the number. That's nothing to laugh at. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's a major player in our market. A major player that's owned through a conglomerate that puts $1.3 billion in operating profit in the bank. Folks, I wanted to show this slide because they're excited over there at Kyocera about the 2 trillion yen hit they're going to get this year. And they say they got to get to 3 trillion. They got some tough aspirations. You know, they got to 2 trillion. We got to get to 3 trillion yen. And 3 trillion yen is $23 billion. They're going to get there, folks. Kyocera will be a $23 billion conglomerate. And it might not be, it won't be in 2023. It won't be in 2024 or 2025. But it could be 2027, 2028, or 2029. Because here's the reality. As long as they keep producing operating profit, as long as they keep producing quality products, they don't have anything to worry about. They just made it through some of the hardest times that the world's had in a long time. And I know we've got some tough times ahead of us. There's no doubt about that. And I also know that a lot of these revenue numbers are contributed to the weakness of the yen. But things are going to stable out eventually. And like I said, even during tough times, you want to be with the people that got all the money, or you want to be with the people that are starved for cash? So let's continue on, folks. I just wanted to look at their key market outlooks. And, you know, this came out of their presentations. But let's just think about this really quick. I want to run through this. And I got to learn a lot more about these different market segments they have. And I look forward to doing that. But look at this, folks. Smartphone sales volume, do you believe that's going to go down? No, that's not going to go down. Automotive sales unit they have over there, you think that volume's going to go down? It's not going to go down. MFP printer sales, they're saying it's going to be flat. It'll dip. No doubt about it. People are printing less every single day, and we all know that's the reality of our market. We all know that we're going to be moving from big giant A3s, overspec'd and oversold equipment, down to A4 products, more and more and more, reducing the revenue, right? Data center investments, that's not going away anywhere. Semiconductor production equipment and shipments, that's not going to change. It's only going to get bigger. 5G base station shipments, that's not going to change. That's only going to get bigger. So Kyocera's got some pretty solid diversifications. But here's something to think about. I thought this was a really interesting slide. Back in 2019, Kyocera put aside $1.4 billion for R&D expense and capital expenditures. $1.4 billion with $533.1 million of that set aside for R&D. That was in 2019. In 2023, it's $2.2 billion. for R&D and capital expenditures. 2.2 billion, folks, that's 800 million more in a few short years, right? They're putting money in R&D and research. When you have money and you're making money, you don't have to run around and buy, damn near bankrupt companies and try to see if you can fix them. You can actually go out there and look for bona fide solutions and products and services that make sense, that you could capitalize delivering that into the marketplace and delivering that profitably into the marketplace. So this is exciting news, folks. That's a lot of money to set aside. For R&D in 2023, it's $725.3 million. That's a lot of money. Kyocera has their fair share of buzzwords, but they talk about the societal needs, and they want to address societal needs, and they're passionate about this. But again, they have operating dollars. They have money in the bank to reach their aspirations. They talk about this inkjet technologies for textile printing. This is so exciting, this inkjet technology. Folks, textile printing is going to be a huge growth, okay? It's going to be a huge growth. It's going to change the world of textiles. We all know that, right? Now, if you're one of my friends that's selling business print, that doesn't mean you're going to get into industrial print and go out there and start selling textile printing machines. But what that does mean is you got an OEM that's developing technologies to be able to print on textiles efficiently, effectively. How long do you really believe it's going to be before we can take inkjet technology and deliver that on plain paper in a way that just changes our industry forever? I believe Kyocera is positioned perfectly for that. Perfectly for that. And if Kyocera listens to my video today, maybe I can inspire him to do something with that inkjet technology. So ladies and gentlemen, here's my summation. Again, congratulations, Kyocera. Congratulations on the inkjet technology you brought to the industry with the production machine, the Task Alpha 15000C. But here's what I want to ask you folks over there at Kyocera. Why don't you be the very first toner-based OEM that changes the game and delivers all your MFPs, whether they're in somebody's house or whether they're A3 in the hallway, all inkjet. With your speed key technologies and your inkjet technologies, you could literally change the game. Some of you are going to say, well, Ray, Epson's already doing that. Our friends over at Epson, they have inkjet technology. They're already in the space. They don't understand the B2B market like Kyocera does. They don't understand that dealer channel like Kyocera does. Kyocera, you don't have a whole lot of time. The competitors are going to come. I realize that your inkjet technology will probably be used in a lot of the competitors' equipment. That's fantastic. But here's the reality. You could deliver inkjet technology through all of your MFPs. The quicker you could get there, the better for the industry. The quicker you could get there, the quicker the industry can change its whole services platform as they expand into broader services, IT services. Folks, ink brings a change to the game that's phenomenal. And who do you want to be with? An OEM that's got a lot of money in the bank with really good inkjet technology? Or do you want to be with an OEM that's starved for cash? Just something to think about, my friends. I want to end with this. I put a little Rayism together for my friends over at Kyocera. And this is actually for all the other OEMs to pay attention to. I believe Kyocera understands continuous relevance is about the value you bring forward. And that forward value is paid for by what you brought to now profitably. You have to bring products to the now profitably in order for you to have a vision to bring products in your vision forward. Without money, it doesn't happen. Folks, lots to think about as our ever-changing industry continues to evolve. But one thing's for sure, status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.